Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Again, this is northwestern Elbert and southwestern Hart counties in northeastern Georgia. This is until 8:30 p.m. this evening. And this includes Bowman around 8 p.m. So it's currently affecting that location. We can see out of all locations include Dewey, Rosa, and Vienna. Again, this is an active tornado warning that is currently in effect throughout much of our northeast Georgia counties, about to cross the North Georgia and South Carolina state line at this hour. So again, please make sure you take the appropriate shelter right now. And I think we went off air here. So again, make sure you take the appropriate shelter right now. Seek shelter in an interior room on the lowest floor of a building away from windows. Because again, like we said before, an active tornado warning is currently in effect throughout much of the region at this hour. And we are having technical issues. I do sincerely apologize about this. I don't know what's going on. So again, let's zoom in here just a little bit more, give you a little bit updated information, and take a look at reflectivity, all of those looks here. Again, this includes, it's right over Bowman at this time, or it's about to affect Bowman, just north of Elberton. So in just south of Hart, I apologize. South of Hart, again, this is an active tornado warning that we have currently in effect until 8:30 p.m. this evening. So again, make sure you take the appropriate shelter right now in an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. Again, you'll see the screen go black here for just a moment so I can take you to full screen. There we go. Okay. Let's take you to full screen here, just give you a little bit updated information. Updated information here on this tornado warning, this active tornado warning. So again, this tornado warning is currently in effect for Elbert and Hart counties in Georgia until 8:30 p.m. this evening. Again, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur, and tree damage is likely. This severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles east of Danielsville or 4 miles southwest of Bowman, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. Again, this is radar indicated rotation at this time. Other locations impacted by the storm include Dewey, Rose, and Vienna. So again, make sure you take the appropriate shelter right now to protect life and property, because again, we do have an active tornado warning. And in fact, let's go ahead here and take a look a little bit more on the reflectivity, and then look at velocity, see what we have, see if we have any signatures at this point, and we probably can't look at that. So I signed up for the plus before and I don't have it anymore, so I do apologize. So we'll look at velocity here then. We'll take a look and see the latest velocity. If we can zoom this in a little bit more, that would be great here. So we have some minor rotation within there. I mean, I don't see anything too significant as in a tornado on the ground. So that's the positive news we have here. But again, we do have an active tornado warning that is currently in effect. Let's go ahead here and go through. Let's bring it back to reflectivity here for just a moment. Talk about the latest locations that are currently impacted with this storm. So again, we got locations of Harper, Hardcash, Dewey Rose, Match, Seymour Store, Nickville, Goss, 13 Forks, Centerville, and the city of Bowman, Reeds, and Vanna. Places close to South Carolina near Newburgh, Bio, Monteeville. Definitely want to seek shelter in an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. I would probably say everyone, even if you're not within a tornado warning county, you definitely want to make sure you are seeking the appropriate shelter right now, making sure you are in an interior room on the lowest floor of a building away from windows. Because again, the positive news, we don't have an active tornado warning or active tornado on the ground at this time, but we still have this. Let's reset this. I apologize here. But again, we do have a tornado warning that is currently issued at this hour. Until 8:30 p.m. this evening, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles east of Danielsville, 4 miles southwest of Bowman, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. So again, I think one location I forgot to mention on here, Eagle Grove, I also included in this tornado warning as well. So everyone just north of Alberton, you can see Harrison. You guys luckily are not in this tornado warning, but again, the cities of Bowman, Harper along 17. Definitely want to make sure you are seeking the appropriate shelter now. Make sure you are seeking shelter in an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. If you're in a mobile home, a vehicle, or outdoors, move to the closest substantial shelter and please protect yourself from flying debris. So again, we have this active tornado warning currently in effect throughout much of the region, and I feel like our system is wanting to run perfectly. It is a few minutes behind, so I do sincerely apologize about that. We're still working out on some sort of issue. I don't know what the issue is, but again, we still have this tornado warning currently in effect. Make sure you are seeking shelter indoors in an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Again, Alberton, North Alberton, Clark's Junction, Harmony. You guys are not within tornado warning, but I would definitely suggest you taking the appropriate shelter now. Newburgh, you're also not included, but definitely want to monitor this storm. Probably the safest thing to do is move to an interior room. Again, you're not in an active tornado warning at this time, but it is a suggestion to take the appropriate shelter right now. Again, we got Newburgh, Montyville, all of those regions currently under an active, uh, could be under an active tornado warning. So we have an update. Okay, we have an update within this tornado warning. So let's see here. They've canceled it. Okay, so Dewey Rose, Hardcast, Match, Seymour Store, and Centerville, you guys have been taken out of that tornado warning. Again, the cities of Seymour Store, Match, Dewey Rose, Clark's Junction, and all of those regions, you guys have definitely been taken out of that tornado warning. So definitely want to make sure you probably should seeing moderate to very heavy rainfall and frequent lightning within this storm. So probably still want to make sure you are seeking shelter indoors. Safest thing in an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Again, we got places of Vienna, Reeds, Bowman, you're still under this tornado warning. Harper, you're still under it. 13 and Forks, you're just around the corner with it. So still want to make sure you are seeking shelter. You can see the storm is tracking towards Newburgh along 77 towards Bio. So again, you want to make sure you are seeking shelter, even if you're not in that tornado warning. Newburgh, Bio, Montyville, make sure you are seeking the appropriate shelter right now in an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. Again, if you're outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, make sure you move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. So let's go ahead here and work on something a little bit. Let's go ahead and fix this really quick so we can get more viewers within our severe weather coverage. So again, like I said before, we have an active tornado warning that is currently in effect. This is until 8:30 p.m. this evening. Let's go ahead here and roll through, talk about the updated tornado warning so we can get the latest information on that. And let me make sure that doesn't get disrupted. So again, the updated we have location producing a tornado was located 10 miles northwest of Alberton and near Bowman, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. This is still radar indicated rotation. This tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of northwestern Albert, southwestern Hart counties, including the following locations: Vienna, or Vanna for that matter. Again, make sure you are seeking the appropriate shelter in an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. Again, if you're in a mobile home, a vehicle, or outdoors, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Again, this looks like the heavy rainfall portion, the moderate to very heavy rainfall, frequent lightning is clear over Bowman, Again, I would probably say Newburgh as well. Newburgh, you probably should be seeking shelter indoors, probably in an interior room, just the safest bet right now because, again, that active tornado warning that we currently have throughout much of the region. Again, we got some lightning strikes currently. Royston, however, you guys are out of this. Gold Mine, probably seeking the appropriate shelter is the best thing to do right now. Same for you, Eagle Grove. Again, along 172, 17, 508, 172. Definitely N77. Make sure if you are driving, make sure you pull over on the side of the road, especially if you can't see, because of the moderate to very heavy rainfall occurring within the storm. If you can't see um, within the storm and it's just downpours and it's just threatening your eyesight, threatening how far you can see, definitely the safest thing, the safest bet to do is just pull over. Do not go under an overpass. That's one thing that we're continuing to preach here. Do not go under an overpass. Again, Newburgh, you guys are probably should be on standby for an updated information. Again, we don't have any active um, tornado warnings at this time for your location. But again, we got Bowman, Harper, 13 Forks, north of Hard Cash, Reeds. Um, the worst of it has moved out, but I would probably say probably seek shelter still in an interior room on the lowest floor of a building because that's the safest bet, the safest thing to do at this time here. So again, make sure you are seeking the appropriate shelter right now in an interior room on the lowest floor of a study building away from windows. Let's go ahead here and look at velocity here and see what the latest information we have on the velocity. Where did the tornado warning polygon go? Okay. Okay. I see. So as we were going over there, the National Weather Service in Greenville, Spartanburg, as I was looking at the velocity and about to read you out the information, I see it now. The tornado warning has been canceled for Elbert and Hart counties in Georgia. I repeat, the tornado warning has been canceled for Elbert and Hart counties in Georgia. Again, we are 10 minutes before the warning was set to expire, but the positive news is the tornado warning has been allowed to be canceled. We have no active tornado warnings at this time. But again, places towards Bowman is still getting that moderate to very heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, and heavy, heavy downpours. So again, you want to make sure you are seeking shelter indoors. Hartwell, you're about to get the moderate to very heavy rainfall, so definitely want to watch out for that. I think you guys are a little bit behind here, so let's do a little bit of a refresh within the system. Let you guys catch up a little bit more. So again, let's see here. So again, the positive news is that tornado warning has been allowed to be canceled. But the same system, we're going to continue to monitor through the next couple of hours because that's going to continue to move north towards Hartwell, towards Anderson, towards Walhalla. All of those locations, again, no active tornado warnings are issued at this time. So that's the positive news that we have here. But again, we're continuing to watch a few storms push its way through. We're watching a storm heading in towards York, just west of Rock Hill. We're watching heavy rainfall moving through northeast Georgia towards Clayton, Hazel, Hiawassee, Highlands. You guys are about to get moderate to very heavy rainfall. We're watching some more thunderstorms entering our viewing area just near McCormick, Abbeville. You're getting some thunderstorms pushing in as well. Comer also getting in at Bowman. Again, Hartwell too. So again, the positive news that we have here is that tornado warning is no longer in effect. So the National Weather Service has decided to update this tornado warning. What was a tornado warning, they decided to issue it as a special weather statement. So now we have a special weather statement in effect for that location. So that's the positive news we have here. This is only for 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and pea-sized hail was located 9 miles southwest of Hardwell or near Bowman, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. Locations impacted include Hardwell, Reed Creek, Bowman, Bowersville, there it is, Royston, Cannon, Lake Hardwell, Lake Russell, and Dewey Rose. If on or near Lake Hardwell, get out of the water and move indoors or inside a vehicle because remember, lightning can strike out to 15 miles from that parent thunderstorm. If you hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. So again, that's the latest information that we have here. Again, the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. That same strong storm that we were watching towards McCormick, about to enter the viewing area relatively soon, that is becoming strong. But then that, again, that is outside of the viewing area. So that's some positive news here. But we're watching. Again, that same storm that was producing a tornado warning earlier, we're still continuing to watch that storm, see what it decides to do for the future, see if we need to go live yet again for any of it. But Honey and Path, Donald's towards Lawrence, we are also watching some storms pushing its way through. Not strong or severe at this time, but again, a relatively bigger concern is the moderate to very heavy rainfall, which will increase the threat for localized flooding. Just west of Great Court, we're also monitoring a few storms, showers trying to pop up here. It's just right now a light shower, but we're going to possibly see that storm strengthen a little bit more. So again, we're continuing to watch here. We'll continue to keep you updated on the latest information. And I'm continuing to just see here, just continue to see here if there's any active warnings within the next couple of minutes or so. So again, that's out of all the main concern. We'll continue to stay on here. So what we'll do here, okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go jump back into regular programming at 8:30, just so we can still provide you with the latest updated information here at this hour. So that's what we're going to do is 8:30, which would be okay. Let me make sure. Let me check this time. So again, so again, we don't have any active severe thunderstorm warnings. Okay, good. We currently don't have any active severe thunderstorm warnings. Okay. 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 All right. So, okay. So we have another tornado warning. Another tornado warning has just now been issued. So let me go ahead and let me switch it back here and make sure we don't go off the air. So we have a brand new tornado warning that has just now been issued within the viewing area. Let's go ahead here and take this full screen, give you that latest updated information here. So again, we have a brand new active tornado warning at this time. Let me go ahead here and zoom in. This is just north of Alberton. Let's see here. Let's zoom in here just a little bit more because we do, again, like I said before, we have a brand new active tornado warning at this time. So let's go ahead. Let me go ahead here and read off the latest information on this tornado warning. This is in effect until 9 p.m. this evening. Locations for north central Elbert County, southeastern Hart County, and southwestern Anderson counties in upstate South Carolina. This is until 9 p.m. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located northeast of Alberton, or 4 miles west of Russell State Park, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. This dangerous thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of north central Albert, southeastern Hart, and southwestern Anderson counties, including the following locations: Rock Branch and Ruckersville. So again, make sure you are seeking the appropriate shelter right now in an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. Again, if you are in a mobile home, a vehicle, or outdoors, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Hold on one second. Let me update. Let me let the affiliates know that we're live here so then we can notify people that we have an active tornado warning here. So if you give me just a quick moment, Give me just a quick moment here. I do sincerely apologize about the dead air. I'm wanting to make sure that everyone knows that Highland Weather TV is live covering the storm until it is set to expire. Because that's why we're here. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give you the latest information here. Okay. So again, we do have an active tornado warning at this time. We'll actually take it full screen for you here. We'll take that off so it looks a little bit better. Let's take you full screen here so you can get it a little bit more. So again, we have an active tornado warning currently at this time. This is in effect until 9 p.m. this evening. So again, this tornado warning still is remaining in effect until 9 p.m. this evening. It was located 4 miles northeast of Alberton, 4 miles west of Russell State Park, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. If you're in the locations of north central Albert, southeastern Hardin, southwestern Anderson counties, including Rock Branch and Ruckersville, make sure you are seeking the appropriate shelter right now in an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. If you're outdoors in a mobile home or vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Again, if you have any weather reports, any latest storm reports here within this storm, make sure you send it directly to us. Tag Highland Weather TV on social media: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X/Twitter. If you have any information, any updates on there, make sure you send it over here, and we'll provide you with the latest updated information and forecast right now. So again, we do have an active tornado warning that is currently in effect. Again, this includes Alberton and 4 miles west of Russell State Park. Let's go ahead here. Let's take a look at the latest velocity here. Well, actually, we can't look at. Well, we can look at velocity, but we can't look at reflectivity. That's or the advanced version of reflectivity. So, yeah, we do have some broad rotation within the storm. The National Weather Service also did detect that as well. So again, locations near Richard B. or Russell Lake. I know you can't see my mouse, so I can't necessarily show you it, but I'm sure if you have done radar, done this kind of thing in the past, um, then I'm sure you can definitely see it on here. So again, we do have an active tornado warning that is currently in effect right now. So you can see towards Richard B. Russell Lake. Definitely want to make sure you are seeking the appropriate shelter right now. Make sure you are not on that lake at this time here as well. Correlation coefficient here. Let's see if we have anything. Nothing too huge. I mean, we have some lightning here, so again, nothing too concerning at all whatsoever. While we're here, actually, let's just take a look at some of these normalized rotation. Normalized rotation here. See what we have here. Looks a little bit creepy, a little bit creepier than normal. So again, we have some broad rotation within the storm here. So again, you places towards Clark's Junction, Harmony, Ruckersville for that matter. Still stay in that tornado. Still seek shelter. Because again, we have that active tornado warning for your location. Again, you're not in that tornado warning, like active rotation tornado warning storm. But again, you want to make sure you are seeking the appropriate shelter right now. Barnes Station, right up to the corner. Make sure you are seeking the appropriate shelter right now as well. Even if you're not seeing anything, the best thing to do is just seek shelter in an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. Let's see here. So again, out of all many remaining a concern, we can see moderate to very heavy rainfall is pushing its way through. So again, I want to make it clear as this tornado pushes or this active tornado warning pushes its way through, we're also looking at heavy rainfall moving over the same location afterwards. So places towards Rock Branch, Coldwater, Harmony. Make sure you seek the appropriate shelter right now in an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. Again, the worst part of it looks like it's staying just north of Richard B. Russell Lake. So that's the positive news we have here. Narrowly missing the city of Alberton. So that's some positive news we also have here as well. So again, make sure you are seeking shelter indoors until this tornado warning is set to expire here. Um, that's the best thing to do at this time. If you have any questions or concerns, make sure you tag us on social media, and we'll be able to provide you with that latest updated information. So, outside of the viewing area towards East Tennessee, we also have a flash flood warning that is currently in effect. But again, that's not our main concern. That's not the main reason why we're live here. That's also not within our viewing area. So, we're not really going to focus on it as much. But again, that tornado warning still continues as it makes its way into upstate South Carolina counties. Again, that tornado warning is currently set to expire in about 28 minutes from now at 9 p.m. This dangerous thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of north central Elbert, southeastern Hart, and southwestern Anderson counties, including the following locations: Rock Branch and Ruckersville. So again, make sure you are seeking the appropriate shelter right now in an interior room on the lowest floor of a study building away from windows. So again, if you're outdoors in a mobile home or a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. And also, we're going to have the co-owner forecaster Chad joining in any minute from now. Okay, we're gonna have a few of the team members join in here in just a moment to help you get updated with the latest updated information at this hour. So again, we do have an active tornado warning that is currently in effect within the viewing area. So make sure you seek the appropriate shelter um, right now in an interior room on the lowest floor of a study building away from windows. Let's see here. Let me make sure. All right, some of the team members are going to join in, help do this coverage here as well. So again, we do have an active tornado warning currently in effect. You can see Rock Branch, Coldwater. You guys are currently within that tornado warning right now. Polygon right now. Montevideo. I think I'm saying that correctly. I apologize if not. Harmony, Clark's Junction, Ruckersville. Make sure you are seeking the appropriate shelter right now. Moffattsville, make sure you are monitoring this storm very, very, very closely because this tornado warning could be knocking on your doorstep fairly, fairly soon. Um, so again, let's see here. Let's see if we have updated information within this tornado warning. This tornado warning is currently moving relatively fast towards the northeast at around fairly fast at around 15 miles per hour. So again, make sure you are seeking the appropriate shelter right now in an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. If you're outdoors in a mobile home or vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and please protect yourself, excuse me, from flying debris. Again, we are going to be live nonstop until this tornado warning is set to expire to make sure you, our viewers, are safe. So definitely want to make sure you are seeking shelter indoors right now because that's the safest option that we have. Just don't be within the storm. Don't be trying to look out, trying to see where this storm is. Don't try to see if this tornado is on the ground. And again, we have no verified reports that it is. But again, make sure you are seeking the appropriate shelter right now in an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows, like we always preached before, and we're still going to continue to preach now. So again, we have no additional updates here at this time. So again, this tornado warning is set to expire at 9 p.m. this evening. Locations in north central Elbert, southeastern Hart, southwestern Anderson. Again, Elbert and Hart counties are in northeastern Georgia. Southwestern Anderson County is in upstate South Carolina for some of the tours. If you guys are watching it here, the severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 4 miles northeast of Elberton or 4 miles west of Russell State Park, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. This thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas. Will remain over mainly rural areas of will remain over mainly rural areas of Rock Branch and Ruckersville. I apologize. I'm also trying to get the viewers there you go. Get the team up here as well, because the team going to help here for just a moment. Okay, so we have one team member that is currently joined in within our coverage region. Again, Mason's joining in, and then we got Chad joining in any moment here. So as Mason's joined in, we're going to go ahead and take you live to Mason to get the latest updated information, and then once Chad joins, we'll take it over to him, and then we'll provide you with more updated information. All right, Mason? I can't hear you. All right, in just a moment here, and we got forecaster Chad joining in as well. So again, we do have an active tornado warning currently in effect at this hour until 9 p.m. this evening. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and Chad, are you ready while we wait for Mason? Chad, are you ready to take over for just a quick second?
Let me see. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. All right. So now I'm just getting on. So where exactly is this warning at? So I can give some information.
So it's in northeast Georgia of our counties. Elbert and Hart County is in northeast Georgia, and Anderson County in upstate South Carolina. And it's also on the radar within the screen. I don't know if you can see that or not, but
I do. Sorry.
okay. No, you're good.
All right. Let me find my radar here. Okay, here we go. So, okay. All right, perfect. So here is one warning I'm monitoring, and I'm using my radar scope app on my phone. Pretty much some details I can give. This one goes until 9 o'clock p.m. this evening. So about roughly 19 minutes left on this warning. If you are in north central Elbert County in northeastern Georgia, southeastern Hart County in northeastern Georgia, southwestern Anderson County in upstate South Carolina, as Beckett mentioned, you are under this tornado warning. It is moving northeast at around 15 miles per hour. Mind you, the one that is on the screen currently that you are looking at, this cell is moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. The National Weather Service is saying this is primarily going to remain over the mainly rural areas of north central Elbert, southeastern Hart, and southwestern Anderson counties, including the following locations: Rock Branch and Ruckersville. If we can possibly take a look at the radar velocity, I don't know. Do you have that option on there? Maybe you can switch it over to radar velocity. If
Yes.
you can on your end, I'm going to try to do it on here.
Okay, there we
And
go.
see what the rotation is looking like. So what radar velocity means when we do this in tornado warnings, it gives you a sense of the idea of winds moving in different directions of the atmosphere. I see. Okay. Yep. Velocity, storm relative velocity. Let's do that. storm relative velocity?
It'll be just a moment because it's slower,
Okay.
but let me
Okay.
fix that right now.
Okay. Yeah, that would be, then I can really see what's going on with this here.
Okay, it's selected now, so it should be like 10-15 seconds and it should load up.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Okay, here we go. Yep, I see it on my end. All right. So with what we're looking at right now, giving everyone an idea of what exactly you're looking at with these green and red colors. Basically, you're having winds moving in different directions of the atmosphere. There we go. Green's moving toward the radar site, red's moving away. So you're getting a difference in wind direction, and that's what effectively sort of maybe I guess I can use the word effectively choke up a spin up, if you want to say a spin up tornado. So if you see directly with this red arrow, again, where it's pointing is again going in that northeastern direction, 15 miles per hour. Now, the center of circulation here is right to the east of Coldwater, right to the south and east of Rock Branch. So if you're anywhere in particular in and around the Rock Branch and Coldwater areas, if you're around those two areas, you need to be in your safe spot. All right, this is definitely, in my opinion, everyone may have differing opinions, but with what I'm looking at, this appears to definitely be some sort of circulation, meaning something that is trying to perhaps form to the ground. So looks like we got another scan here that just popped up. I'm looking on my radar scope too. I still do see an indication of green and reds. Green moving toward the radar site, red's moving away. It seems now this is passing to the north and east of Coldwater. So I'd say continue to be in your safe spot for the next few minutes. This will be heading towards, let's say, Barnes Station. Barnes Station. If you're going to be in that, if you're in and around that area, I recommend starting to seek shelter pretty much right away. Even though it's moving around 15 miles per hour, it will still be at your doorstep before you know it. Also, if you're in the Lounsville area, I'm not familiar with this area. If you're in the Lounsville area, Lake Secession, and the Iva area, those three areas, you also want to get in your safe spot. You are not in this tornado warning, but it is just to the north of you folks in the Barnes Station area, right off to the north. Will this warning get extended? Most likely. Pretty decent circulation here. Tons of lightning embedded in this particular storm. I do recommend that now tracks on my end are starting to point more north rather than east. So instead of it going more northeasterly, it's going to be going more in a northerly direction. Tracks are showing it different. Some are showing northeast, some are showing going north. If you're in the Iva area, if you're going to be in the Star area, double R, you want to be in your safe spot, as this warning is most likely going to be getting expanded. So definitely on the eastern side of this tornado warning, right on the east side is where the center of circulation is. It is now passing pretty much right over you if you're in and around the Richard B. Russell Lake area, right off to your north. Is where that center of circulation is, and it's going to continue to move in such a trajectory. So again, the Barnes Station area, heads up. You are definitely, most definitely going to maybe get the outer bands of this storm, or you're going to get the direct circulation that's going to come right over. Right now, it is not confirmed, meaning there hasn't been a sight of a tornado on the ground. But when we talk tornado warnings, and I do this so everyone understands the difference, that means there's enough rotation in the atmosphere right now at this very moment to produce a spin up. Conditions outside are favorable, as we see here. hence this warning. So again, it is going on 8:47. This goes until 9 p.m. I don't
And
see any expansion as of right now in this warning, but I'm going to be on the lookout for that. So that's all I have right now.
alrighty, thank you, Chad. Next up here, we're gonna go ahead and jump it over to Mason with the latest update that he has here, and then if there's any further updates, we'll continue to provide you with that. Let's go ahead and jump it over to Mason.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so what I have right up here, and this is a product that a lot of us, weather people, we talk to you guys about when we're dealing with tornado warnings. This is correlation coefficient, which is basically my debris tracker that I have here on Live FastCat Max Doppler radar. And what you see right here, we're trying to see if there's
Okay.
any debris.
Not to interrupt you, Mason, but we do have an update with a tornado warning. I just wanted to mention this really quick. We do have an update within this tornado warning. It has been canceled for southeastern Hart and southwestern Anderson counties. It is still continued for north central Elbert County until 9 p.m. this evening. Let's jump it back over to Mason with the latest update.
Okay. Well, that's good that they're canceling it for a couple of counties, but they're continuing it for one. Anyway, this is the debris tracker that I'm showing right here. And you can see here to the north of Elberton, we're seeing a little bit of some bright shading there, so we're going to have to watch that very carefully. Also, so most of the time on correlation coefficient, you have just these reds, but when we start to see some bright shading, like we're seeing right to the north of Elberton, that indicates that there could be possible debris. Also, I'm going to go ahead and pop a couple of other products on here. This is shear. This is the shear tracker if it'll load. And what this does is that it shows the where there may be turning of the winds with height in the atmosphere, which is what's called wind shear. And you see the strongest shear, which is right around Elberton, is indicating the highest potential for both wind damage and the potential of that tornado, as Chad was talking about. So when you see some of that purple right there, if you look at the legend right here, that is indicating strong shear. And if we go to the rotation tracker, which tracks the path of the rotation and how far along it was weak and how much it's gaining strength, you can see where we're starting to see some more purple, and that's indicating where there's more strengthening rotation within this thunderstorm. So we're definitely seeing some wind shear being kind of happening within the storms and turning of the wind with height in the atmosphere, if you will. And this is all part of the storm, which has spawned this tornado warning. And again, as Chad alluded to, we have not had any reports of that tornado on the ground, but we are seeing some indications of rotation as well as some indications of shear. That tornado warning goes until 9 o'clock still. It's still radar indicated, but this storm's going to be moving out to the northeast. I'm actually going to go ahead and we're going to put a track on the storm, and I'm going to use the shear tracker to track the path of this tornado, basically. And while we're waiting for the shear tracker to pop, there it is. I'm just going to track it right from where I see that spot right around Elberton. And we'll take it off to the northeast at around 29 miles per hour, which is 16 miles per hour, rather.
Not to interrupt you again. I apologize, but we do have an update within the tornado warning. They have set to expire the tornado warning directly at 9 o'clock. So as soon as the clock hits 9 o'clock, that tornado warning is set to expire. So at least we're seeing some positive news there that this storm is starting to wind down tornado-wise a little bit more. The rotation starting to wind down a little bit, and that tornado warning is again set to expire at 9. We'll jump it back over to Mason with further updates.
That they're going to allow it to expire at 9 o'clock. Now, there is some tracks that I'm getting on the storm, but you can see no locations. But that is not centered on the tornado. What I can do is I can try and give a manual storm tracker like I did before. We'll put it like right there. It looks like it's going to go over rural areas is what it's looking like to me, Beckett. for sure. We'll go back over the live fast track max Doppler radar. And as you can see, the radar is scanning the skies every 60 seconds. We're getting live updates on the storm and where it is really. So I want to point something out here. So obviously we're watching the rotation, and this warning is going to go until 9 o'clock. But you see these little notches within this within the outer edge of this storm right here. Those are what's called. We see these a lot with squall lines actually, but they're called line echo waves. That means that you have multiple areas within this thunderstorm along the leading edge where you can get a little bit of a spin of a tornado. So it's not just one area that we're focused on, it's multiple areas that we have to watch out for. We see these little inflow notches, okay, where you have the winds pushing into the storm. And there's a new update from Live Fast Track Max Doppler Radar, where you have the winds pushing into the storm and then they're wrapping back around. That's what creates that inflow notch, and that's what we're seeing along this line right here, along the edge of the storm, is those hooks really. And that's where you can get a little bit of a spin up of a tornado. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little one trying to spin up. And a lot of times we see this when warnings are about to expire, we get a spin up at the last minute, all right? So this tornado warning goes until 9 o'clock. It's set to expire still, so the Weather Service has not indicated that they are going to extend it. They're going to allow it to expire. But I would still keep an eye on this storm, though, because oftentimes it looks like the storm is capable of also producing hail. Becca, do we know if there is any indications of this storm possibly having a hail threat as well? Like, do we know what size hail it's possibly able to produce?
So small hail and gusty winds are still going to be a concern within this thunderstorm, even though the warning is set to expire. I don't know the official side. What?
So small hail. Okay, so we're
Small
talking
hail,
like penny to like maybe quarter-sized hail with the storm. When you see these pinks right in here, that's indicating some heavier rain and perhaps some small hail. So Elberton up towards Loudonsville, you're on the outer edge of the storm, but Elberton, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys got some hail coming down right now. Of course, you're on the outer edge of this tornado warning, but this storm is still relatively strong. You can see there, right there, live fast track max Doppler radar scanning skies again. Like I said, every 60 seconds we're getting live updates on the storm, where it is, and what the latest is with it. Chad, I'm going to jump it over to you for a minute, and I'm going to pop the hail tracker on and take a look at this hail within the storm, if there is any. So while you're looking over the data, so Chad, go ahead, take it from here.
Another thing that I'm looking at with this storm too is south of where the tornado warning is right now, per se, the Alberton area, looking south of this warning, seeing a bit of an appendage, pretty much a bit of an inflow, winds going inside the storm, trying to rotate with height. I'm worried. I don't want to say worried, but I'm a bit concerned. That is the more appropriate word. That there's going to be another, possibly, I could be wrong, but there could possibly maybe be another tornado warning on this cell. And I know I'm using my phone. It's not the best, but south of that cell, right where that hooking is, like, there we go. Yeah, like right south of there, right around here where my finger is, there's like a bit of an appendage there. I am actually a bit worried about that right there. So maybe anywhere south of the tornado warning in effect right now, that's pretty much expired. Could be regenerated again. And I do see some small indications of hail signatures, gusty winds, small hail with this particular cell, if you want to say. So looking at the velocity, there still is maybe just a little bit of green and red trying to show up there on the southern and south of Alberton that I was talking about. If that can possibly generate a little more. And when I say that, if it can get a bit more stronger, well defined, I won't be surprised if another warning were to redevelop. So I would just monitor that very closely. Other than that, it's for the most part weak and below severe capabilities, below severe limits. So that is good news there. And if that stays the case, hopefully with time, the instability, everything will die down and the severe weather risk for the evening will end. But it's that southern edge, that southern tip south of, again, Alberton that I'm a little bit worried about. I want to see what that's going to do as that tracks to the north and east. Is it going to get stronger? Or is it going to weaken some? I'd say back to Mason. It looks like he has something to show us.
Yeah. So, Becca, am I pulled up? Well, okay. Chad, am I pulled up?
Yes, you are pulled up.
Okay. I want to make sure. So what I have right here, and this is another that I wanted to bring up really while we're talking about the same exact storm, is flooding. You can see right here what I have pulled up here on the radar is actually the rain rates, because I want to mention that another threat dealing with, besides the tornado and the hail, the damaging winds that's coming with this storm, is the fact that we have so much heavy rain coming down right now. You see where we have some of these darker greens and even these yellows showing up. Those are indicating where the heaviest rain rates are. Now, keep in mind, rain rates, and there's a new update right there. Rain rates is actually how much rain is falling per hour, okay? So we'll go over here and we'll actually take a couple of queries with this storm. You can see about 5 inches of rain per hour with this storm, and that's just since we've had the tornado warning in effect. So you can see between 3 to 5 inches. So I wouldn't be surprised if we are starting to see some ponding on the roadways. And looking right there, that tornado warning expired exactly at 9 o'clock, but we're still going to have to continue, as Chad said, continue to monitor the storm for any possible rotation development, as he was seeing to the south of Alberta. You can see a couple of notches within the southern tail of the storm. You have one right here, and you have one right here. Those are all areas that could form into some rotation and cause a little bit of a spit up. I don't want to scare anybody. I don't want to scare anyone right now. There's no tornado warning in effect now for the town of Alberton. Just some very weak rotation. As we go to the velocity, you see not a whole lot showing up to the south of Alberton, but right here where we just had the tornado warning, we're still seeing that same couplet showing up. We have winds going away from the radar, which is what we see going in red. So if you think about this in your head, basically, it looks like we got a new warning. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning. There's been issues with the storm. So now what's happening is the National Weather Service.
And I do want to mention with that severe thunderstorm warning, it does have a tornado possible tag with it. So they are detecting some sort of rotation within the storm.
It's possibly this couplet right here that they're talking about. So this severe thunderstorm warning, so what the National Weather Service has done now is putting the storm as more of a storm that's capable of producing hail and damaging winds, with the fact that we still have this weak, this broad area of rotation, but considering that it's now more capable of producing hail and wind rather than in fact the tornado. So basically, you have the winds going away from the radar, which is what we see shaded in red. So that's how, like, if you think about how you breathe in and out, warm air goes out of your mouth and cool air comes into your mouth. So the red is the warm air going away from the radar, which is off to the northeast of the storm. So the winds are moving to the southwest, the reds are. Then you have the greens moving towards the radar, like this. And when you put that together, that's how you get that rotation to go right there. And I'll go ahead and we'll get a cap going on this severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like, yeah, tornado possible tag, quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds with the storm. It actually says right here, At 9 o'clock p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located 6 miles northeast of Alberton or near Russell State Park, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. Alberton, Iva, Russell State Park, Rock Branch, uh, Newburgh, Ruckersville, Middleton, Loudonsville, Dewey Rose, and Lake uh, Session, if I'm pronouncing that right, are all in this severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to go ahead and put the hail detector on so we can see if there's any indications of hail. And yes, there is. To the northeast of Alberton, we are getting a little bit of an indication of some hail. Not very large, but could be some possible hail. And this is a unique product that I love showing. This is one that you don't see a lot with very many TV meteorologists. This is the hail core tracker product I have. It's basically what's called vertical. It's VIL basically. And basically, what this does is that it actually indicates where there could be a hail core. So when you're seeing this red right here, that's indicating that it's a definite yes, that there is more likely a hail core developing with the storm without a doubt. So think about this legend right here. So when you're going on the lower end, that's indicating when you don't have the hail. But as you get further up, that's when you're saying could be a hail core, but not doubting it. And then once you get up towards the yellow and red, that's when you say yes, that there is definitely a hail core within the storm. So right here in that dead center, that's where we're seeing a hail core at. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start to get some reports to the northeast of Alberta of some quarter-sized hail falling with the storm. All right, Becca, I'm gonna dump it over to you.
Alrighty. Thank you, Mason. So again, like Mason said before, we'll take the Highland Weather TV's radar screen at full here for just a moment. Again, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning, like we said before, that has just now been issued. This is in effect until 9:45 p.m. this evening for north central Albert, southeastern Hart counties, that's in the northeastern Georgia counties, and south central Anderson and west central Abbeville counties, that's in upstate South Carolina. Again, that's in effect until 9:45 p.m. The severe thunderstorm was located 6 miles northeast of Alberton or near Russell State Park. The hazards with this storm are 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So you definitely want to make sure you are seeking shelter indoors away from windows. Locations impacted include in Alberton, Iva, Russell State Park, Rock Branch, Newburgh. Same location that we talked about before with the tornado warning, the first tornado warning we went live for. Newburgh is under the severe thunderstorm warning. Ruckersville, Middleton, Loudonsville, Dewey Rose, and Lake Secession. So again, if you're on Lake Secession, it's been great, somewhat great weather today. So I would probably guess a lot of people have been on Lake Secession today. So definitely want to make sure you are off that lake. Make sure you're in a building or in a study or in a car for that matter, because the 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail, a car, or if as long as you're not driving within the car, or if you're in a building, that will protect you from the 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Again, like Mason said before, this has a tornado possible tag within it, so an isolated tornado is possible. Again, there's no active tornado warnings within this storm, but again, it is a possibility. So again, we're continuing to watch this here. You can see it a little bit over on the radar. You can see it's over. Let me make sure I'm getting this correctly. Richard B. Russell Lake. It is currently over your location now. Loudonsville, you guys are narrowly within that polygon of the severe thunderstorm warning. Alberton, you guys got the worst of the storm so far. It's moved to the north of you somewhat. So again, I would probably still say make sure you are seeking shelter indoors because you are still within the polygon, but you've missed out on, the worst of it has passed. So again, you're still seeing that moderate to very heavy rainfall. So again, make sure you are seeking shelter indoors if you are under any of these severe thunderstorm warnings. My apologies. Under any of these severe thunderstorm warnings. So again, Star, which is just north of this severe thunderstorm warning, I'm also watching because there is a possibility we could see an extension. I can't speak tonight. I apologize. An extension of this severe thunderstorm warning into star. So definitely want to watch out for that. We'll jump it. Who wants to take over? Mason, Chad?
Yeah, so I got another scan on here, and still a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. I just want to see if there's going to be maybe any potential for another possibility of a possible tornado, looking at the storm relative velocity. So far, it's just a lot of wind energy, a lot of wind that is on a gust front pretty much outside of the storm. You'll be contending with a lot of wind, is what I'm trying to say. Couldn't get the words together to say that, but there's a lot of wind energy with this storm, especially on the leading edge of the storm. A lot of wind energy coming in, may easily over 65 miles per hour. Still moving in the northeasterly direction at 15 miles per hour, anywhere from Alberton and points north and east. You were under this warning, and now this goes until 9:45 p.m. So we'll have to see what this does, but looking at the storm relative velocity, really nothing so far pops out to me, nothing too crazy. Meanwhile, then just lots of wind energy with this storm. So again, anywhere on the leading edge, I think I believe that's where most of the severe winds will occur before you're actually right over the cell, where you're just going to get your rain, your lightning, your thunder. Very dangerous lightning too, I'm sure. Classic cloud to ground lightning. I wouldn't doubt if that's in with this particular severe storm. There is still indications of hail on my end. I see little pockets where the storm may be trying to produce some small hail. Now, let me see here. We are looking at quarter size hail, according to this. So certain areas that I mentioned, the Iva, Lake Secession, those areas I mentioned earlier, they're now under the warning, as I figured. Those were areas I was watching very, very closely. So now it seems like the tornado risk is diminishing with this particular cell, and it's again becoming more of a wind issue. As of right now, storm relative velocity isn't really showing any couplets besides something I'm now seeing, now that's popping up, I'm a little worried about, is right off to the east of, or actually right off to the northwest, a little to the north of Alberton. I'm seeing a bit of greens and reds trying to come together. Greens moving toward the radar site, reds moving away, getting that difference in wind direction. I'm going to say if you're to the north of Alberton, specifically to the north, that looks like there might be something trying to form. There we go. Maybe a little bit of green and reds right there, if you can kind of make that out. Yep, right off to the north there. You can see where the green and reds meet up there. That's something I'm trying to watch right on that outer portion of this cell. So I don't know. We're going to have to see. And I'm also seeing too that behind this storm, meaning to the south of Alberton, I'm starting to see some cells form behind that. See these little individualized cells that are starting to sort of, that are starting to sort of merge with the severe thunderstorm. What I'm trying to say is there's cells in the back trying to come together with the severe storm. So I believe what I'm seeing is anywhere south of the severe storm is where most of the instability is, most of the available energy is for cells that develop to reach severe criteria. That's what we call instability. I am starting to see, like I said, very, very small pop-up cells. I'm going to have to monitor those close as they move into the axis of where the most instability is right now. And that appears to be north of Alberton, where that severe thunderstorm warning is. Nonetheless, we look way south, we have also more cells. And even to the east, we have individualized cells all coming together, moving in the same direction. They are not severe warned, but there is the possibility where they could become severe warned. So, like I said, nothing right now too alarming, other than if you're to the north of the Albertan site, it looks like there's something possibly trying to develop. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna watch that closely. So I just got another scan pop up, and I'm seeing more little cells pop up behind the severe storm. And again, it's trying to come together and become one. It's trying to merge together. As you can see on the back end, we're getting these little cells to the west of Alberton, to the south, way off to the south. You're having cells develop. And I believe this is really the only primary warning that we have out right now. So it's kind of a lone, isolated warning, but all these other cells that are moving up north and east, we're going to have to watch those a bit closely. Unless I could be wrong, and the other alternative is that the instability could weaken, and this might be your only warning that we might have. So I don't know. It's just something we're going to have to watch.
Already. Thank you, Chad. Mason, are you able to, for the short time you have, you're able to speak?
Yeah, I can. So we're watching things here. Um, so what I have right now, I pulled up the shear tracker again just to show that the rotation within the storm has the shear rather within the storm has diminished. We're still getting a little bit of indication between Alberton and Lotusville, but as Chad alluded to, we are starting to see some more rotation pop up, if you will, with this storm. I was actually just checking the velocity a little bit ago while Chad was talking about that that couplet that he was seeing, the weak one. And it did look like there was some rotation going on for sure. I should go ahead and switch back over to the velocity, and we'll put it back on here. There you go. You can see it's not as strong as it was just a little bit ago, but we're still getting that same indication of the winds moving away and towards the radar. And this is just in the southwest of Lotusville right here. So there's Lotusville. So it's about good. I got a distance tool right here, so I can pop it on here. We'll say Lotusville. It's about approximately 3 miles to the southwest of Lotusville. So Lotusville, if you're in that area, just be on the lookout. Actually, Lotusville, I want you to, if you're in Lotusville, I would highly recommend you take cover just to be on the safe side, because even though this is a severe thunderstorm warning, we oftentimes can have spin-ups happen. There you go. You can see they just canceled part of the warning. They whittled back on the southwestern edge of the severe thunderstorm warning. So Albertan, you're not in the warning anymore. Louisville, you're still in the warning though. But Louisville, I would recommend you do take cover. Just to be on the safe side, really, because you just don't know when the storm could try and spin up a tornado at any given time. See here. Going over to my rotation tracker, and this is how it looks all the time. But again, keep in mind, the rotation tracker shows the path of the rotation, and there you go right there. I wanted to show this again. Look at how far long, that has weakened compared to when it was around Albertan when we still had that tornado warning. That just gives you a sense of how quickly the rotation can form, how quick it can strengthen, and how quick it can weaken down. Okay, where it goes from this purple all the way to the blue, that means it's weakened. That's some positive news, but still looking at that hail and gusty winds threat. Um, let's see here. We'll put the hail core tracker on the show, and there you go. Remember how I showed you that there was a red circle right here showing that there was a hail core? It's starting the weekend, so that may be some promising news. So maybe we're not. So maybe we're seeing the storm kind of die out, really, if you will. But still, we're watching the storm. I am got the job off here. Unfortunately, I wish I could leave live fast track max Doppel radar up. But I have to get to bed. So Chad and Beckett, you guys are gonna have to take over. But yeah, if you're in Loden'sville, be staying indoors, and I would stay away from doors and windows if I were you, just because the 60-mile-an-hour winds, you just don't know how strong they could get. Even though they're 60, they could get pretty strong and do quite a bit of damage. All right. And like I said, watch out for ponding and water as well, as I did show you those rainfall rates just a little bit ago. And I'll pop those on one more time before I do go. There you go, right here. There's the rainfall rates. You can see we're still getting some pretty good indications of some really fast falling raindrops going on right now. So ponding of water, flooding is still a very big potential in this area. So I'm gonna have to jump off of here, but Louisville, stay indoors. I'm gonna send it back over to Beckett and Chad, and they're gonna continue to track the storm for the rest of the live. All right, you guys take care, and yeah, keep it here to the Highland Weather Center for any updates from Beckett and from the rest of the team. All right, take care.
Yeah, that was good. He explained that clearly. So yeah, right now it's severe warned. Again, only warning we have right now. This expires in 24 minutes. And it actually, the warning, severe thunderstorm warning, is canceled. It on my end, it's the oh God. The severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Hart County is canceled. National Weather Service is saying that this storm, which prompted the warning, has weakened below severe limits. So I think that we might be done for tonight with the severe weather. This might have just been one of those storms where it just turns severe, quick tornado warning, and then it goes and it's done and it kind of blows up to be nothing. So they are saying it's canceled. So I really wouldn't worry too much. It seems like it's kind of starting to fall apart. Looking at the radar velocity here too, I'm not really becoming too concerned with anything going on inside of the velocity couplet. Looking on my end, so I wouldn't really worry too much, but I'd still, just to be safe, have your guard on. I'm not ruling anything out, but if you're north of the Lake Secession area, if you're north of the Antroville site where it's moving, I would just be prepared on guard up in those areas just in case if something were to turn severe. So just monitor up there, anyone in those populated areas. Again, no active tornado warnings right now. Good news. But they are saying, again, it's allowed to expire. So we'll have to see what happens. If anything happens, we'll probably post something on the page and let y'all know what's going on. So.
And so I do want to mention here, so the broadcast system is set to return to normal programming at 30 minutes past. So that will be 9:30 is when we return back to normal programming here. So again, we'll I mean, up to you, Chad. But we'll stay on here live until that warning is set to expire. You want to stay on too?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
perfect.
think that's the best thing because
Perfect.
something could redevelop. I don't know. I just
Right.
got to be safe. Yeah.
Right. But again, we're gonna return to normal programming at 30 minutes past. So we're gonna stay with you until this warning is set to expire. And hopefully that'll be the only warning for the rest of the night so we can have a nice Sunday evening before our Memorial Day Monday. We'll give you the latest updated information at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So definitely want to watch out for that. So again, the severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled, like Chad said, for Hart County, Georgia. It is still continued for Elbert, Georgia, Anderson and Abbeville counties in upstate South Carolina. Was located 10 miles northeast of Elbert near Russell State Park, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. Hazards include 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Other locations impacted by this severe thunderstorm include Iva, for that matter, Russell State Park, Rock Branch, Ruckersville, Loudonsville, Lake Secession, and Lake Russell. So again, make sure you're moving to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. The positive news that we have here at this time, and I am proud to say this, is they have canceled the tornado possible tag. So again, we have no longer a tornado possible tag within this severe thunderstorm warning. This is mainly the hazards of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So again, you want to make sure you are seeking shelter in a car or indoors in the house away from windows till this warning is set to expire for your region. But again, as soon as the storm moves out, the main concern we're continuing to watch through the rest of the night is flood watch or flooding concerns. There it is, especially throughout tomorrow, because again, we have flood watches in effect through our East Tennessee counties. Our East Tennessee counties that we serve are only 3 counties. It's not our main coverage region, so it's not too concerning that we cover there. But again, we serve Cocke, Greene, and Sevier counties in East Tennessee. That is until that flood watch is in effect throughout much of the early portion of tomorrow morning as well. So definitely want to watch out for that. But again, the flooding concern will continue. Flooding concern will continue into the evening and overnight hours and throughout much of the next couple of days as nonstop rain is expected. So again, we'll jump back over to the severe thunderstorm warning here, and then we'll jump it over to Chad yet again for another update here as we're getting at 5 minutes past or 5 minutes before normal programming is set to resume. Again, this warning is set until 9 is going to be in effect until 9:45 p.m. this evening for North Central Elbert, South Central Anderson, and West Central Abbeville counties. Again, we're not going to stay on the entire time because it looks like, and we're continuing to see the scans here nonstop. This warning, this severe thunderstorm is weakening as we're continuing through every second, every minute. So that's the positive news we have here. But the main hazards are 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. The locations includes Iva, Russell State Park, Russell State Park, Rock Branch, Ruckersville, Loudonsville, Lake Secession, and Lake Russell. So again, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are expected with this storm. So you want to make sure you are seeking shelter indoors away from windows. Again, for the next couple of minutes, we'll jump it over to Chad for the latest information. And about 9:29, 9:28, and 9:29, we'll go overall through again what we mentioned before returning back to normally scheduled programming. All right, Chad.
There we go. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know if this can in fact maintaining if this storm can maintain the weekend like it is, which they're saying it's canceled. I don't even know why the yellow box is still up. If they're saying it's canceled, that's kind of deceiving to me.
It's canceled for one county. It still continues for Elbert,
Southeastern
Georgia, Abbeville, and Anderson.
Right. And then okay, you're right. That's my fault. I was interpreting it wrong. Okay, for one county, yeah. So I want to see what's going to happen with this. But looking at the velocity, nothing too concerning is popping out. So I don't know what's going to happen in the foreseeable next few minutes with this cell. But chances are, if it has been downgraded for one county, now it's just, I don't know if it's going to weaken completely or not. I'm staring at it right here on my radar scope app, and like I said, I don't really see any couplets, nothing trying to form. It seems like that all died down. I don't know. And this is,
I hate to interrupt, but we got 2 minutes before it's set to return back. So again, let me just do the overall really quick. I apologize for interrupting you, Chad, but I don't want it to interrupt our coverage at all. But we do have an airport weather warning has been issued for the Greenville-Spartanburg Airport. So if you're flying out of the GSP airport, there's been lightning within 5 miles of the airport. So expect some minor delays. Again, and really quick, before we go off air again, the severe thunderstorm warning is set to expire at 9:45 p.m. this evening. And another thing, we have a flood advisory that has just now been issued until 11:15 p.m. this evening for Elbert County and Georgia, because upwards of 2 inches of rain has already fallen, and amounts of 1 to 3 inches are expected over the area tonight, which will cause minor flooding, including Alberton, Russell, State Park, Middleton, Lake Russell, and Ruckersville. So you want to make sure that when you encounter a flooded road, make sure you turn around and don't jump, because most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Again, we're about to return back to normal programming. The severe thunderstorm warning is set to expire at 9:45 p.m. this evening. So again, make sure you keep it tuned to Highland Weather TV for the latest information, the latest forecast over the next couple of hours. And again, thank you for tuning in to Highland Weather TV for the latest updated information and forecasts. And we'll be back again tomorrow morning with the latest update and updated weather information and forecasts coming up very soon. I'm Chief Weather Forecaster Becky Webb, forecast to Chad Martin. Thank you so much, Chief, for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night and keep it tuned to Highland Weather TV. We'll update you because we're weathering one storm at a time.